Good morning, everyone. Who is getting vaccine shot? Please raise your hand. Yeah, we all know that pandemic has impacted us in many different ways, especially when we are now resisting the coronavirus variant Delta, which is more transmissible. And in addition to the respectable healthcare workers, there are also some medical equipment who are the heroes behind the bag. Today, I want to share about one of them, the negative pressure isolation rooms, and how it helps us. I would like to separate my presentation into 3 parts. First, we will learn all about it, including its history, use, and the theory of how it works. The second part, we will learn about the different designs from other countries. I will talk about the design from Korea and Romania. For the last part is the QURE project designed by the talented designers in Taiwan. People started to have the concept of having an isolation spaces in Venice 536 years ago. That was when the Black Death was taking millions of people's life. And when the disease approached the governor in Venice, citizens decided to fight back. They started to send patients onto an island called Lazaretto Vecchio. It is on a sea near the places they live. For now, people also describe a quarantine station using the word Lazaretto. The negative pressure isolation rooms are also called AIIR. It has been using to settle the patients who has airborne transmission disease like flu, measles, chickenpox, tuberculosis, SARS, MERS, and coronavirus. Does anybody has the basic theory, to know the basic theory of the negative pressure isolation room? No? It has a mechanical ventilation system built inside the room, which could make which creates an operating pressure lower than the surrounding region, so that there is no significant leakage of the contaminated air inside the room, which means the non-contaminated air will flow into the room while the contaminated air will be sucked out of the room by the exhaust system, which are built with filters inside. And that is also the reason why it is called negative pressure isolation room. There are 2 types of negative pressure isolation room. There are the Class N and Class Q. Normally, the Class N will be set at the very front of the inpatient unit so that the contaminated patient won't pass by other patients. To Class Q, there are higher precautions taken with it. They have an extra anteroom for the healthcare worker to take off their protecting clothes. It also has a double-layer hermetic door to prevent an alarm to alert the staff if the pressure inside the room is too low or too high. Since the virus has been so infectious, there is a great shortage of the rooms all around the world. And many countries are trying to develop smaller, cheaper, and recyclable rooms. Let's take a look at the Korean one. The project is called MCN and is designed by Korean Advanced Institute of Science and Technology. Building an MCN takes only 2 hours, and it includes the air tent and the negative pressure frame inside, which consists of air pumps. its size is only 1/4 of the normal isolation rooms, while costs only 1/5 of what it takes to build a normal isolation room. Another is the inflexible isolation rooms built by clean room experts. It has been using to deal with the emergency situation in Romania. The biggest advantage it has is that its shower room can connect to the anteroom, and they also has a smart water management system, make it able to set outdoors, and it helps many people who live in rural areas. The last part, we're going to talk about the QURE project designed by Taiwan's architect team, Zhou Dian, and professors from Chengkong University. According to the sponsor, Zhang Qinghua, she has been seeing every industry devoting themselves to help Taiwan, and building a convenient and more functional negative pressure isolation rooms seems like what she can do as an architect. The name QURE has the meaning of cure, and also the quarantine units for recover, emergency, and ecology. They have 4 main concepts. They are the time, circularity, function, and also human. Let's take a look at its design. First, the rooms are absolutely eco-friendly. First, every part of it can be demountable, so they could be easily disassembled after the pandemic. Second, the designers also consider the weather in Taiwan, so they elevate the floor of the room to avoid flooding and humid. Also, they choose peach roof on the top to make it radiating. There are also 3 separate paths for clean, buff, and also to deal with the contaminant. It is healthier for the healthcare worker and the patients. In the end of this building, it has an MEP unit to make everything work in an ideal way. Many people warned the designers that putting all these things onto the internet she can be plagiarized by someone. But the designer Zhang Qinghua doesn't seem to care about it at all, since she said if her design can be built out, it is also helping people. After my presentation, I hope everyone can have a better understanding with the heroes behind the bag, the negative pressure isolation rooms. Thanks for listening.